The Duchess and the Bravo Bombshell, a tale of teacups and tantrums. In the glittering underbelly of Los Angeles, where palm trees whispered secrets to the stars and the air smelled of ambition laced with kale smoothies, Meghan Markle had carved out a new empire. It was the summer of 2025, and the Duchess of Sussex, ever the phoenix rising from the ashes of Buckingham Palace drama, was on a mission. Her latest venture, a Netflix docuseries titled Montecito Mornings, a glossy affair blending lifestyle tips with subtle jabs at the royal family. Think yoga poses for the soul-crushed and avocado toast recipes infused with empowerment mantras. But to launch it with a bang, Meghan needed buzz. Real buzz. The kind that came from crossing swords with the king of snark himself, Andy Cohen. Andy, the Bravo overlord with a mane of silver-streaked hair and a wit sharper than a stiletto heel, hosted Watch What Happens Live from a plush studio that looked like a Real Housewives confessional crossed with a drag queen's fever dream. Purple velvet couches, neon lights, and a bar stocked with enough rosé to drown a small principality. He'd built his empire on spilling tea, literally and figuratively, interviewing A-listers who were one cocktail away from confessing their wildest sins. Andy had regrets in life like that time he passed on Meghan back in her Suits days, a decision that still haunted him like a bad Botox job, but turning down the Duchess now. Not a chance. Her team had pitched it as the interview of the decade, promising juicy anecdotes about life post-royalty, Harry's polo mishaps, and maybe even a nod to the Housewives franchise Meghan secretly adored. The taping was set for a balmy August evening at NBC's Burbank lot. Meghan arrived in a convoy that rivaled a presidential motorcade, sleek black SUVs, a fleet of assistants clutching matcha lattes and non-disclosure agreements, and a publicist who could glare a paparazzo into oblivion. She stepped out in a custom Carolina Herrera gown, emerald green silk that hugged her like a lover's grudge, with a neckline plunging just low enough to say, "I'm still fabulous, darlings." Her hair was a cascade of glossy waves, makeup flawless, and on her arm. Not Prince Harry this time, but her go-to confidant, a yoga instructor named Zara who doubled as a human shield against small talk. Inside the studio, the crew buzzed like bees in a hive of hot goss. Andy, dressed in his signature velvet blazer, this one a daring shade of fuchsia, paced the green room, nursing a pre-show espresso martini. "This is gold," he muttered to his producer, a wiry woman named Lena who had survived 9 seasons of Real Housewives of New Jersey. "Meghan Markle on my couch. We're talking Emmy bait, just don't let her steer it to that Archetypes podcast drivel again." Lena nodded, adjusting her headset. "Pitch her on the shotski. Everyone cracks after the tequila." The audience, 300 hand-picked Bravo superfans in sequins and false lashes, cheered as the lights dimmed. Andy sauntered on stage to his theme music, a remix of "Single Ladies" that always got the crowd feral. "Welcome to Watch What Happens Live, where we spill more than just our drinks," he boomed, flashing that megawatt grin. After a quick Housewives recap, spoiler, someone threw a wine glass. Shocker, he teased the main event. "Tonight, we have a royal with more drama than a Potomac dinner party. Please welcome the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle." The applause was thunderous, mixed with a few boo from the die-hard royalists in the back. Meghan glided in, all poise and power, air-kissing Andy on both cheeks like they were old sorority sisters. Zara trailed behind, perching on a stool like a silent sentinel. They settled into the plum-colored couch, Meghan crossing her legs with the elegance of someone who'd once curtsied to the Queen. Andy leaned in, eyes twinkling. "Meghan, darling, it's finally happening. I kicked myself for years over passing on you back in the Suits era. What took us so long?" Meghan's laugh was a melody, light, but with an undercurrent of steel. "Andy, life's too short for regrets. Besides, I was just a lawyer in heels then. Now, I'm the whole courtroom." The crowd ate it up. They started easy. Her favorite Housewives moment, Ramona Singer's pajama party meltdown. Naturally, Harry's thoughts on Southern charm, he called it delightfully chaotic, and a playful plead the fifth about whether she'd ever considered joining the franchise. "Me, a housewife. I'd bring the tiaras and the truth bombs," she quipped, sipping from her water glass infused with cucumber, because hydration is self-care. But Andy, ever the provocateur, smelled blood in the water. He wanted the unfiltered Meghan, the one who'd roasted the royals in her Oprah tell-all. Okay, spill it, he said, leaning forward with that predatory gleam. Everyone wants to know. After all the palace drama, what's the real tea on why you left? And don't give me the Netflix script. Give me the unedited director's cut. The audience hushed, phones poised to capture the coronation of controversy. Meghan's smile tightened, just a fraction. Zara shifted in her seat, sensing the shift like a storm cloud on the horizon. Andy, you know better than anyone, sometimes the best stories are the ones you walk away from. The firm, it was like a bad reunion special, all glamour, no heart. Polite chuckles rippled through the crowd. Andy pressed, undeterred. Come on, Duchess, we're live, no autocue here. Was it the in-laws? The curtsies? Or, wild guess, that time they wouldn't let Archie have a playdate with the corgis? The laugh from Meghan was sharper now, edged with frost. Corgis. That's cute, Andy, but let's flip the script. You've built your empire on women tearing each other down for ratings. Ever think about why the housewives love to hate? Or is it just easier to watch a sparkle and shatter? The studio temperature dropped 10 degrees. The audience exchanged glances, ooze turning to awkward coughs. Andy blinked, caught off guard. He'd expected flirtation, not a filleting. Whoa, hold up, that's not shade. That's a solar eclipse. I'm just asking for the fun. Fun, Meghan interjected, her voice rising like a crescendo in a Verdi opera. She uncrossed her legs, leaning in so close Andy could smell her diptyque candle scent, fig and royal vendetta. Fun is what I do now, Andy. Montecito Mornings is about lifting women up, not pitting them against invisible enemies. You passed on me once because I wasn't, bravo enough. Now here I am, and you're still playing gatekeeper. Zara placed a manicured hand on her arm, whispering, breathe, Meg. Namaste. But the dam had cracked. Andy, red-faced under the lights, fired back. Gatekeeper, honey, I regret passing on you. Imagine us kikiing about Vicky Gunvalson over shotskis. But if you're gonna come at me like I'm the villain in your memoir, the crowd gasped, a mix of delight and dread. Phones were out, live tweeting the apocalypse. Hashtag Meghan vs Andy was trending before the commercial break. It escalated faster than a Vanderpump Rules betrayal. Meghan stood, her gown swishing like a battle flag. This isn't an interview, it's an ambush. You want tea? Here's some. Your show's as outdated as those pleated khakis you wore in the 90s. Women like me, we don't need your couch to shine. Andy shot up too, microphone in hand, voice booming over the chaos. Outdated, says the one hawking jam on Instagram. If you can't handle a little heat. Security, bellowed the stage manager from the wings, as if summoning the ghost of palace guards. Two burly producers flanked Meghan, gently but firmly escorting her toward the exit. Zara scrambled after, clutching Meghan's Birkin like a life raft. The audience was on its feet, half cheering, half filming, all feral. Andy, microphone still hot, ad-libbed to the camera. Well, folks, that's one way to plead the fifth. Back after this, don't touch that dial. Backstage, the corridor was a whirlwind of whispers and walkie-talkies. Meghan, composure cracking like fine china, paused at the green room door. Call my driver, she hissed to Zara. And leak it to TMZ. No, Variety. Make it sound empowering. Her phone buzzed. A text from Harry. Everything okay? Polo practice ending early. She typed back. Just another Tuesday. Love you. Bring tacos. Meanwhile, in the studio, Andy slumped onto the couch, fanning himself with a cue card. Lena rushed over, headset askew. Boss, that was electric. Ratings are gonna explode, he groaned, downing the dregs of his martini. Electric. That was a lightning strike to the ego. She called me outdated. Me, the man who made Teresa Giudice a verb. But beneath the bluster, a flicker of admiration. Meghan hadn't just walked in, she'd owned the room, then burned it down on her way out. You know, he mused, maybe I should have done that shotski after all. The fallout was biblical. By midnight, hashtag Meghan booted was the top global trend. Clips went viral. Meghan's icy stare, Andy's flustered retort, the awkward shuffle of security. TMZ broke it first. Duchess ditches Bravo. Heated clash ends in live ejection. Followed by page 6. Meghan Markle storms off Andy Cohen's couch. your show's outdated. The New York Times weighed in with a think piece, from palace to podium, Meghan's media mutiny. Even the Daily Mail, that old frenemy, gushed, Meghan channels Diana's defiance in TV takedown. Harry, ever the supportive spouse, whisked her away to their Montecito mansion that night. Over vegan tacos by the pool, he raised a glass of non-alcoholic fizz. You were magnificent, love. Like Xena, but with better hair. Meghan smiled, the fire in her eyes dimming to embers. It wasn't planned, but sometimes, you have to remind them, I'm not just surviving. I'm scripting the sequel. Andy, nursing a hangover and his pride the next morning, called his Bravo bosses. Book her again, next year, triple the security. Deep down, he knew, in the Game of Thrones, or talk shows, the best clashes birthed legends. And this one, it was just the opening act. Word spread like wildfire through Hollywood's vine. Oprah texted Meghan, "Proud of you, girl. My couch is always open." Serena Williams DM'd, "Told you Cohen was trouble." Tennis rematch. Even Lisa Rinna, queen of the hot mic, posted a cryptic Insta, "When they go low, we go live." Nail care #housewives wisdom. Months later, at the Emmys, Andy spotted Meghan across the room, accepting her Montecito Mornings nod for Best Lifestyle Series. Their eyes met, a spark, not of war, but of wicked possibility. He raised his glass in silent toast. She nodded back, lips curving. The war was over, but the tea, it was still brewing. And so, in the city of fallen angels, a new chapter dawned, one where duchesses didn't just endure the spotlight, they set it ablaze. The end. Darling, please. This story's just getting its close-up.